Dry lab, co-pilot.
Can we check out that white thing dead ahead?
Pilot, did you get that?
What would you like?
If you have a chance, could we look at that white animal in the center of the screen, please?
Certainly. You think it's an animal? Probably.
We're going to do a snap zoom.
I'll set down for it.
Okay.
I've kind of done snap zooms on a few white things that I didn't get good shots of.
Okay, Serial should have started moving right now
Video.
for that.
Let's do a zoom.
Zooming in. For that previous move. I'm keeping it.
Actually, I'm really sure that that's more than a rock at this point with this perspective. But if you zoom back, yep.
Yeah, I think it's a rock too.
If you zoom back out and look down, there's kind of a curly thing just a little bit below us and to the left.
Zooming in. Go ahead, co-pilot. Yes. But we are...
Do you see that now?
Yeah, we do.
Adjusted to 245. We're at 240 for the ship.
Your lasers are heading right towards it, like a spiral.
We should have just started moving on the 23 at the
Okay, video.
12:23 move. Zooming in. We'll complete in about 8 minutes, and then we already have another
Ooh,
move in
are
place.
we thinking Entrenus?
So that one
Oh,
should
it
start
is.
at
Look
about
at that. Absolutely
39.
beautiful. Brilliant spot there.
UTC time. We have 2 moves going right now. One,
So that's its
Sirius
body,
is moving,
and then
the
it's
ship is moving.
pooping.
It's finishing its
Yeah.
A little wider.
So they poop in
zooming out.
spirals.
I'll go partial.
And it's one of the ways to look for
I was called in at
Entrenus
29,
trails.
and it should be nearing its destination. It's 4 meters.
But as far as I can tell, there have been no
But Sirius is
Entrenus
still moving
recorded
from
from the
previous.
Marianas Trench so far, if Alan Jameson's book is correct,
So,
which I'm
Devo,
sure it is.
what kind of animal is that? Oh my.
Nav, bridge, move complete.
Copy that, thank you.
I think it's there.
So
Zoom in a bit more.
exactly,
Okay,
an
go for it.
Entrenus is
Actually,
also
I
known
can't.
as an acorn worm, and
pretty small.
they are from the phylum Hemichordate. Well, they are hemichordates, so from the phylum Hemichordata.
Thank you.
Hey, Chris and Diva. Hello?
Hey, Chris.
Hello?
Hey, Chris, go ahead.
Your Diva is correct. Freastera. There are, strangely enough, 6 and 7 rayed Fraelids, and you can't really tell without looking at them. But in my experience, most of the things that you see that have 6 rays at this depth are Freastera. Freastera tends to occur at these kind of 4,000 to 6,000 meter depths. They're one of the deepest known Brisingids, and for some reason we see them, by themselves in these sort of really dark, deep
Zoom
corners
out a
of
bit
the
and
world.
get the lasers
So,
on them.
Fraella, I tend to notice, occurs in bunches. So I'm not sure, what's going on there, but it's interesting. Anyway, I see that you're working in an acorn worm, so
Okay.
I figured out how
Zooming
to
out.
see what's
Stand
going
by
on
roll.
with your different screens.
Full wide.
The quad screen is real time. Camera 1 is a few minutes behind it, strangely enough. Thank you.
Great, thank you very much, Chris, and I hope you enjoyed that incredible footage that we were able to get of that
Okay, co-pilot.
Freastera
Start coming up and ahead.
from about 5,000
Copy
meters
that.
depth.
So it looks like we're moving again into, I think, a little bit of a pillow morphology. These certainly aren't as well defined as pillows you find elsewhere, but they certainly look a lot less broken up right now than what we've been looking at.
Pardon me, fish to the
Video
left center.
snap zoom on
They went off screen. It's just off screen now.
can or something.
What is that?
Yeah,
Is that a
it's
can?
Left.
Is it Pringles?
Okay, so we're zooming in on this can.
Holding.
Trash.
And we'll put away.
It's like a,
But the,
Trash in Japanese.
yeah, or some kind of...
No, that's true. Maybe not Japanese.
go wide.
So this is one of the sad things about doing deep sea exploration. I think a lot of us deep sea scientists can say that we've dived in the deep sea all around the world in some extremely remote places, and unfortunately I think there's not one cruise I've been on out of the 11 where I haven't seen several pieces of trash.
I would agree with that.
So it's just important when you're on a boat or etc. Make sure your trash gets disposed of properly. Same thing on land. Recycle. Don't use plastic. Disposable plastic.
That is a wonderful message for Earth Day,
Yeah.
which is still happening
Which
on the
is
mainland.
today.
Mm-hmm.
Apologies about the fish, guys. Oh, do we have
Can we?
time for that?
I don't really want to waste our time.
If we do, I shotgun.
Breaking here on Earth Day, if we want a rock over to the right, I think those are pillows. What we're looking at, no, the other.
No, not these. Yeah, but over to the right there were some pillows.
In sediment. That sediment right in front of you.
Right, and then to the right there are pillows.
There you go, on the right-hand side.
These rocks
So,
down here.
one of those rocks probably wouldn't break up if you were able to grab it.
Pilot, can we grab?
Yeah, just one of these two roundish ones down here.
I think any of those that are kind of centered on the screen in the
Okay.
bottom right now. Obviously not the giant one, but
Right.
I think that Patty, you agree that it's these ones that are kind of centered at the moment?
Yeah,
But they're big.
center screen. Yeah, center screen bottom.
Oh yeah, there's a few little.
Round side.
Yeah.
One on the lower left looks like a candidate.
Just hopping down to it.
Yeah, maybe or the upper right.
So
of
pilot,
that
if we could
little
get that,
section.
the littler rock that's kind of hanging out under the big giant one.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah, I think it's really not as little as I think it is, but
It's 15 or so,
yeah, can we
good.
try to get that one?
for sure.
Yeah.
Hydraulics are up.
Okay, oh good. I hear approval from Patty. Oh, back to the high pack.
Gonna keep you in view.
Yeah.
So for those of you just joining, we are looking at some, we think, fractured pillows, and we're going to try to grab a sample.
Okay.
It's pretty sedimented, and everything appears to have a crust.
Pretty solid.
Port wing coming inboard. Port wings inboard.
Just jumped a lot. Do you see that?
Yeah, when you kicked on hydraulics.
Yeah, it jumped a lot.
Yeah.
So Bob is weighing in on the line. He says he's not entirely sure they're pillows. And that's what's kind of fun about this, that we can make some field observations, and then we can make some changes once we get them on board.
Flush feedback.
Yeah.
So a fun fact.
True. Yeah.
Gotta be. Tried to hook
Pillow
just the
logs generally have a
two
more
fingers. But I got a little much.
sort of pie shape, triangular shape with a curved top,
That's true.
like a cone kind of thing. But we'll see. It just crushes like the other one did. I'll be embarrassed.
So just a fun fact about the can which we saw. We have Asako Matsumoto joining us via telepresence, and she speaks Japanese.
Could she
and
read
she
it?
said that the can said coffee, on
Oh.
it.
Oh, that's
yeah.
actually part of the ground.
That one's actually
So
in situ?
thank you, Asako.
Maybe
Anything else?
upper left, maybe poke them. I don't
Which
know.
ones? Up here?
Oh, or upper right, maybe. I don't know.
These two little guys?
They might be cemented also.
How are we doing on the move? Pretty good.
We'll come to Sirius is still going to be moving for another 4 minutes or so.
Yeah, we're still good. That's serious.
That's out of my reach.
Yeah.
I'll just try poking this one. That one is loose, but it's very small.
Nav, bridge, move complete.
Thank you, Bridge.
Yeah,
So watch lead, where we are now, we can
That
only
one-
get this little 5 centimeter one.
Okay, because the one that you're trying to hit is actually still in situ?
Yeah.
Okay, so Patty and Bob, the one that we were targeting, that one that's right underneath the arm at the moment, it looks like it's pretty well set there, so they can't pick it up. Would you prefer one of those smaller rocks just above, or are they too little?
Yeah, they're two small ones, not, because I'm not sure what that one is, but just a little bit
Yeah, a little bit up to the right, just below the big one.
Those ones are just out of my reach. I'd have
Oh, they're
to
out of your
move.
reach?
upper right.
Yeah, those are, unfortunately, Patty, those appear to be out of their reach for where they
Just
sat
close the
down.
box and move on, right?
Well, we can close the box, bring the wing in, reposition, and then put it in the starboard
The
box.
joy of sampling.
Just
Which
looking
one?
at that rock that
The
you're
ones that are out of reach, if we wanted
All
to.
the way out close this.
Yeah.
colors on the
Yeah,
inside,
we don't like to move
it
with
could
the
be
wings.
better.
Yeah,
Deployed.
it didn't look so great, honestly. All right, so do we want to try to abort this particular sampling and move on? Or are there any other ones that you think we could potentially get, Patty? Or Bob?
There we go.
What does Bob say?
Okay, still in.
I think probably all of the people around here are the same time. So, anything to get forward.
Okay.
Pilots, I think when you're ready, we can shove off from here. A lot of these look pretty cemented.
Yeah, it's too bad that one looked good, but
Yeah, it did look good.
the arm can push
Deceiving.
200 pounds, and it was not moving.
Okay. All right, so I think we're going to try to keep moving on, and we'll just keep looking for that next set of beautiful rocks that we can pick up. Oh, and some biology as well.
So those angular ones were loose, but they were.
We don't feel comfortable that those angular ones that were above, the one that you picked up and then dropped,
Yeah.
we're not comfortable that those are actually volcanic.
Yeah, they look like the one I crushed before. To me.
Yeah, exactly.
Sirius should be coming to a halt shortly, if it's not already. So, and that will be our final halt as far as our ship moves. So I can call one in whenever y'all are ready.
Yeah, I guess you might as well, given the lag.
What does our sonar say? Coming up a
For
little bit here.
direction.
Yeah. Why don't you push out a little bit, and then
Yeah,
we'll call in a move.
push out and come up.
Yeah, it looks good. I mean, I'm
270
looking
looks
at
like the right angle this time. 260 to 270, somewhere in there.
I would say like, yeah, 260.
Okay.
Well, before we move, watch lead, there are a lot of rocks right here.
Oh, these look good. Anything,
And we have time here.
Patty and
Yeah,
or Bob,
plenty of
anything
time.
look particularly good in this? I think the ones that are sort of center bottom right now could be good. Thoughts?
Yeah, they look pretty solid.
Yeah, could we go for one of those two?
The two in the center bottom.
Yeah. Let's see. That one's a little large. We could put it in the starboard one.
Yep. All right. Hydraulics are up.
Okay.
The comps look good, by the way.
Thank you.
Holding steady.
Bob is telling me over email that any rock is good. Bob, I agree with you. I don't think Patty agrees, but I agree with you.
Get it come down a little bit, get rid of some of that bounce.
Fair is having sediment samples.
Yeah.
Kind of a loose sedimented slope. But
I agree. Rocks are great.
so the one with the lasers should be the first try. Is that right, Watchlead?
I believe so. So Patty and Bob, we're going to aim for that bottom one where the lasers are right now. It's actually, I'm sorry, it's the center for the view that we're looking at right now. Is that okay?
That was great.
No, not the other one.
I'm going to take that as a yes. You're a little broken up. So please go ahead, pilot.
Okay.
That was definitely.
Give it a poke first. Yeah.
It's wise thought. Actually, that one is also sedimented.
Any of these around here loose?
So
All right, let's go
that
around
one's
nudging
loose.
rocks until we can find one that moves. Did it move?
That one, it did move.
It did move?
Oh. It's moving.
It's moving, yeah.
Who-
Do you want this one?
Hardly moved.
It's kind of round.
We're having a lot of connectivity problems, I think, with the UHECC. I'm having a hard time
Poke some
hearing you
more
guys.
while they're trying to figure it out.
So I'm
That
sorry,
one
pilot, which
definitely
ones are
moved.
actually moving? Patty, could somebody write it into the event log so I can read it? Oh.
Sorry.
We're having a really hard time
Fish
with
coming, checking you
hearing
out.
Patty and a couple other people. Could someone
feel like
perhaps
this one
write
should
into
move if all the others
the
move.
event log which one you might want?
So it looks like
Just
there's
grab
another
the
oak
fish.
diet just floating by as we're waiting to collect this rock sample.
It might just be a huge rock.
That's true too.
Oh, that one's definitely
It did
moving.
move. Okay, so the original did move. I just
Okay. Oh, great. All right, so we're
haven't
going
quite done it hard enough.
to try to go for our original pick on this little rubble slope.
One thing we will ask is at UHECC, when you're talking into the mic, if you could try to limit it to one person, because we're getting a lot of background noise when you call in. I know that may not be possible, but just try.
Nice.
All right, and we're going to take some beauty shots.
Want to tilt me up?
So, pilot, you're squeezing on that rock and it's not breaking, right?
Yes.
Good.
What's your
okay.
grip force? Zooming in.
6.
6.
Okay,
Holding up.
put here.
Going to bring your starboard wing inbound.
Okay.
So, geologists, speak now or forever hold your peace, because this is likely to be our first rock sample of 2 for the day.
Pilot, which rock box do you think you're going to put this into?
Starboard?
Starboard.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Not the best lighting, but... And back to the original. Okay.
So while we're
happy with
collecting
that
this
video?
rock,
Zooming up.
which looks like it has a Xeno on it.
What's a Xeno?
A Xeno 5.4, the same 4-aminiferas that I was talking about before.
Oh.
Maybe you weren't listening. But
Doping down on Mini Zeus.
now I've forgotten what I was going to say. Oh, right. So this is Okeanos's. This is quite a deep dive for D2. And I think this is probably only the 5th or 6th dive or so down to deeper than 5,000 meters. So this is pretty exciting, not only for the scientists on board and ashore, but also for our ROV team.
All right, we have one successful rock sample. It is in our starboard rock box.
Clear?
Yep.
Thank you so much, pilots. That was awesome.
We're good.
You're welcome.
And I can call in a move because we're going to be hanging around here for a little
Yep.
while after this. So you have plenty of time to stow. You okay with that? Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Bridge nav.
Go ahead.
I'd like to put in a ship move of 30 meters at bearing 265 at 0.2 knots.
Ship move, bearing, or range 30 meters, bearing 260 degrees, speed 0.2.
You want to... Good copy.
Nav bridge move initiated.
Thanks, Bridge.
So I think Bob Stern over email has just said something really profound that I want to share with people on the line. And that's picking up rocks on the seafloor is kind of hard. And it's not just the physical part of picking it up, but it's trying to identify what you're looking at. And so sometimes you bring a rock back to the ship and you crack it open and you realize that it's not the rock you expected at all. So it's definitely a little harder. It's more challenging in this kind of terrain to figure out exactly what it is that we're going to be picking up.
I'm looking down at you, 83 degrees.
Roger.
I probably won't start moving for a while, though.
Let's do a partial zoom here, video.
Okay, zooming in.
Just going to scan this area.
Okay, I'll hold here.
Hold that.
Hey, co-pilot.
Yes.
How, I know that the ship doesn't move well off to the aft on either side at about 45 degrees or so.
You mean...
Could we zoom in on... Oh no, I think it's just a rock maybe that's broken open.
Zooming in.
The thing in the
Swing
center of the
this
screen? Yeah, don't worry about
It
it.
depends on the
Holding here.
conditions.
Okay, so
Coming up.
right now we're probably fine doing that.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, hold
Okay.
that.
they'll tell you.
Holding. And you might need to put the mic a little closer to your mouth, Josh. Perfect, thanks.
Nav, one thing that can be a problem, although it doesn't look like it's a problem at all today, is since they're going with the
So
wind
for those of you just
on the
joining
move,
us, we are
they
on our
can
third
overshoot.
dive of our
Zooming out.
first leg of our Marianas
'cause just the
expedition.
control loop makes
We're
them
diving
kinda-
in on a site called Sirena
But it looks
Canyon,
very solid
which is
today.
in the southern end of the
zoom.
Marianas Trench.
Think floating
Currently,
right
our
here.
vehicle is just above 5,000 meters depth,
Switch
so
it to-
5 kilometers depth.
Sorry,
We're
we're
at
troubleshooting something real quick.
4,970 meters. And
Why don't you just
during
do
our
it, Laura?
dive,
You wanna jump
we're
up?
hoping to transition
Zoom
from
center.
this area
Zoom in.
of sort of exposed rock faces and slopes. Oh, look at this
Holding.
beautiful little jelly. Scyphozoan.
Do you have any more?
Zooming in.
Yeah, so we're hoping to transition from this area of hard bottom sloping area to a much gentler sloping area that is likely going to be heavily sedimented. So we'll see two different faunal assemblages, we're hoping, in those two different areas. Our entire bottom time is likely going to be around 3.5 hours, and we've already been down here for about an hour and 10 minutes, 20 minutes. So stay with us for some exciting times in the Marianas Trench.
All right, if science and video are happy.
In just a few seconds. That's okay.
Science is ready to
I'll zoom
move,
out.
certainly.
Okay, Josh, I don't know if I just have residual movement, but I have been slowly creeping over you.
What's your 65? Okay.
Yeah.
So while we're staring at this beautiful landscape, it's always nice to think about the fact that in 1960, two people actually descended to the bottom of the Marianas Trench, to Challenger Deep. And it wasn't actually explored by man again until, I believe, 2012.
Holding.
We've used ROVs in that intervening time frame, and landers, but not man submersibles.
And as far as I'm aware, there is currently no full ocean depth vehicle, ROV or otherwise,
bridge move complete.
or submersible, currently in existence. I think the Chinese are currently building one, but I don't think it's ready yet. If that's incorrect, someone feel free to correct me.
Don Walsh was one of the people who was down on that 1960 dive. I think we're going to have to call him up at some point in time during this expedition and see if we can get him on the line chatting with us. Maybe not today, but perhaps for our other deep dive.
So that jellyfish we were just looking at, Tim Shank who is very involved with many of the Hadal expeditions to trenches around the world, has said that the jellyfish has stinging cells on the arm tips, and those stinging cells are thought to be used to catch swimming amphipods. And it looks very similar to a previously seen jellyfish in the Kermadec Trench at about 10,000 meters or 10 kilometers. So thanks very much, Tim, for that little information. I think this may be a sponge that we're looking at, perhaps.
Come in on this.
Zooming in.
Also very interesting geology behind it.
Holding.
Yep, so definitely some kind of sponge. Yeah.
All right, come on out.
Zooming out.
Oh, wait. What's that little guy? Let's come in on that little white guy.
Okay, zooming in. Holding.
Is that a snail?
Yeah, it looks like a snail. Got a shell in there. Zooming in. That's all I got.
All right, come out a little bit.
Okay, zooming out. You want to go partial?
Yeah, hold that.
Holding. In about 5 minutes here, Cirrus will start creeping again.
Yeah, copy.
Go ahead.
All right, come on in.
Zooming in. Full zoom.
Not sure what that is. A little. Yeah, it's a little snail.
So there's a little gastropod right now on the screen, and it looks like it's hanging and twirling. Hanging and spinning.
That's an obvious case of showboating right there.
All right, we can come out video.
Okay, zooming out.
And the sponge we think is a hexactinellid or a glass
I'll
sponge.
stay partial.
That is one tiny dude. Yeah, I gotta push ahead a little bit.
Okay, I'm gonna come full wide then.
Yep.
For you.
Roger. Yeah, I've started to push ahead. Just so many little interesting things to look at. Gonna saddle to the starboard here and then come back up. Let's do a zoom on this guy video.
Zooming in.
I think we. Oh no, this is 5 legs.
Holding.
Yeah, well, no.
So we've seen one of these also in the abyssal Eastern Pacific at about
All right, to zoom in a bit
4,000
more.
meters depth.
Yep, come on.
And it's definitely a comatulid crinoid now that I'm seeing this footage, because before our footage wasn't good enough to distinguish whether it was a brisingid or a comatulid. But yeah, definitely a comatulid crinoid. You can see the cirri below it that it's holding onto the rock with.
Zooming in.
Copy.
Holding. Full zoom. Nice shot, Josh.
And again, going with Alan Jameson's recently published book, The Hadal Zone, there have been no crinoids
Okay, zooming out.
recorded from the Marianas as of yet. So that may be the first
Full wide.
record of a crinoid in the Marianas.
Just a quick zoom on this.
Sure. Zooming in.
And crinoids like these are also known to about 9 kilometers depth in other trenches around
Holding.
the world. For example, the Izubonin Trench. So it looks like this is another type of sponge.
Let me know if I get the double
here.
here, Carl.
Scientists ashore, if you do see a biology sample that you would like to collect, please let us know. And we will try to accommodate you if the vehicles are not moving with the ship. But please let us know. The only
Hey, come in
samples that we've had identified of high priority
Do you
to
have
us
any more?
are
Zooming in.
black
Yep.
corals. But
Holding here.
anything else is also
think we're
fair
just
game,
about
so
full
please
zoom.
let us know.
Drifting away from it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we
Okay.
go. Okay, zooming up.
Oh, thank you. You can reset it.
Full wide.
Jeff has the numbers, I believe, for that now.
Our previous move was at 260.
Ask what
Quick zoom here.
Zooming
yeah,
in.
what's this long thing?
Just
Oh,
gonna
could
frame
it
it
be
up
our
and
second
hold.
piece of trash?
Holding.
It looks like it is.
Doesn't really look biological to me.
Get a better look at it. Yep, that's line.
Yep. So we may see, oh, but there's a little munidopsid to the left of it. Yep. And that one's definitely alive. So here's a munidopsid squat lobster, similar to the one we've seen before. We may see quite a lot of trash during this dive because trenches tend to act sort of like funnels
Or
in a similar way to
come on in.
canyons and other
Okay, zooming in.
places. And so
Right, hold
trash
it
tends
steady.
to just kind of
Holding right here.
collect here, I think. Not only trash, but also
gonna come
things
in.
like pieces of wood and sometimes animal carcasses. Great pilots, thank you.
Okay, zooming out.
So, geologists, do you think we're looking at
Full wide.
some fractured sheet flows? What exactly do you think is going on right now?
Looks like one of the same holothurians we saw earlier
Snap zoom
as
they come
well.
by.
We don't,
Zooming in.
only if it's easy.
Holding.
So this one you can see it's got quite long
You can come in tighter.
Zooming
feet
in.
or podia. And then you can also see its feeding
Holding.
appendages towards us, closer to us.
All right, come out.
And so
Zooming
yes,
out.
this is the same one we saw at the beginning of the dive, likely to be from the genus Amperima or Peniagni.
So pilots, we still have about 400 meters to waypoint 1. And Sirius should stop moving here shortly. Not quite yet, probably. But we don't have another ship move in queue.
There are a lot of white objects in sort of rock. Let me go look at that.
Is that
All right, come on in.
Okay, zooming in.
So there's
Holding.
another one of the crinoids we saw earlier, as well as another little squat lobster in view right now.
You know, this particular crinoid could possibly be a collectible. I think it's in the family Antilles, but it's different than the ones that we saw in shower gaps last year. I don't know, it's something to think about.
Okay, well, pilots, are we okay to collect here, or are we moving?
We should be good to collect. Sirius isn't going to go too much further.
Zooming out.
Video.
Yep.
Okay, great. Well,
Full wide.
Chris, if you're happy to, we are happy to collect this, and it will be our first biology sample.
It's going to be a difficult collection, but we'll see what we can do.
I think it would
Josh
be a
likes the
good
challenge. What?
So, shoreside scientists, because of the problems we're having with some of the audio right now, we're actually going to close down our telecom line on this side, and then we'll dial ourselves back in. So you'll probably hear maybe 30 seconds of silence from me and Diva, which you might appreciate anyways.
But we're also going to, while we're silent,
Yep,
we are going to attempt to collect this
images.
crinoid for you.
She jumps a lot.
A high gain wouldn't cause that? Okay.
Tilt up. Yeah. All right, get the bio box ready. We're going to go port. Yeah. Oop. What's that?
Thank you very much. So how do you hear us so far right now? And then could a couple of you maybe just chat with us for a bit while we're doing this collection to see how the sound is?
Actually, I think it might have hit on the port side. Just get right on.
Okay, you can be heard here at IRC very well.
Great, thank you.
Pilots, one thing to note,
So
it
we
may
have a
try and
question
swim
here from a
away.
visitor. They were
Copy
wondering
that.
why all the animals down here are white.
Oh, Diva, did you answer the why are all the animals white?
No, so a lot of the animals are white in the deep sea because, first and foremost, there's no light down there, and so there's no need for pigmentation.
Yeah, you want to try opening?
And then, otherwise, we do also see some red and deep,
I don't
like
think
deep
you're
red,
gonna
deep
be able to
purple
open it all the
animals,
way.
and that's because
So we might
red
have to
is
pull
one
off.
of
I don't
the
know.
red is the first wavelength of light to be lost, first color of light to be lost as you get deeper in the ocean.
Just a little
You'll
bit
notice
more
when you
if you got
go
it.
snorkeling, or if not really snorkeling, but if you go scuba diving, only down to
Right
about
there.
60 feet or so, there will be hardly any red color visible unless you have a torch or so. And so because it's the first color to be lost, a lot of animals take on that red, dark purple color because it means they're not easily seen by predators.
Yes.
So we've heard from various scientists on the line that we are now loud and clear, but we are yet to hear from the UHECC.
Thank you for the answer.
Yeah.
I'm sure you knew that, Bruce. And could have done an even better job answering than I did.
Yep, tilt down.
Pilot, which box is this going into?
I'm going to... Actually, I might have enough room there, Carl. Port inner.
Nav, can I ask you a question?
Sure. Go ahead.
About how much time do we have left on the bottom, and about how far away are we from our waypoint?
We have about 2 hours and 20 minutes on bottom.
Now, unfortunately, you're
And give me 1 second
on
on
the
distance.
telecom.
Thanks. What?
We are 430 meters from waypoint 1.
Nice job, Josh.
Great, thank you, pilots. So that Crinoid didn't even put up a fight.
Did you catch that one,
Really?
too? We have about 430 meters left to waypoint 1.
Excellent
We can still get there.
collection, pilots.
I mean,
We are happy to
if we
move
can
when you are.
If we go at 0.2 knots, it'll take us 70 minutes
All right.
to get there. I mean, we still have...
My compliments to the pilots. That was a beautiful collection.
We do. But we can start going if necessary.
Pilots, you're getting collections over the chat and also over our text logs.
Oh, thank you. I can breathe again.
Good
Great,
capture
so we
there,
have
pilot.
one rock and one crinoid so far. And how much longer do we have on the seafloor, Deb?
So a little bit over 2 hours.
Nice call moving that wing in.
And we have about 430
Pilots, would you
meters
like
to
me to
go
go
to
ahead
get
and
to
call in
our
ship move now?
waypoint at the end.
After you get ahead a little bit.
Yeah,
For being so good.
I think we're good.
Okay, I'll call one in. If we need to, we can stop it too. Bridge nav.
Go ahead.
I'd like to call in a 30-meter ship move at bearing 260 at 0.2 knots.
I don't think I need to go for my run today.
Ship move, range 30 meters, bearing 260, speed 0.2.
Good
My
copy.
heart rate
Look at
is like
this, Deb.
way up there.
That is pretty fantastic.
Let's
Eva, what's that black thing to the left? Is that just a shadow, or is
What do I
that...
call that thing?
I don't know. That's
Or do
a
you
good
wanna just call
question.
it-
something coming in
Based
on
on
It was
this.
right in the center.
I'm
Yeah,
thinking
sending by
we're
I
Josh.
don't know if you had a
I think it's just a
rhino or
shadow,
what it
but
was.
we're gonna zoom a little bit on it and see.
Nav, bridge, move initiated.
Thanks, Bridge.
Coming in partial video.
Zooming partial.
Yeah, it looks
Holding.
like the edge of a rock.
Oh no, that's a. Oh,
That's a
no,
rock.
no, yeah, there's the end
Yeah,
of the
that's a rock.
Come in tight, just real quick.
Zooming.
Wah wah.
What's? Oh, that's a laser. Never mind.
Holding.
It's like, what's that red thing? Oh, a laser.
There, come on out here.
Zooming up.
Let's take a look at what's over to the starboard.
Okay, full wide, Josh.
Thank you.
It's towards the top.
It's a fish down there. Is that a fish or a shadow? I don't know. Come in video. I think
Zooming
it's a
in.
shadow. Yeah, it's a rock.
So we just
Hey, come on
got
out.
a great
Zoom in.
picture from the University of Hawaii's, their ECC. So now we finally can see what they're
Co-pilot,
seeing.
do we put that
And look at how many of them are in the
outbound,
room.
outboard, or
So,
inboard?
hi guys.
Okay.
give you a look at this feature here, Deb.
That's pretty fantastic.
And off into the abyss.
Oh, wow.
Now we've got about 15 people in the room. Some are standing in the back. And we've got Sonia Ramirez, we got Patty Fryer, of course, Jeff Drazen. We've got anyway, you get a lot of people here.
Do a zoom here, video.
Zooming in.
So all this layered rock is really very interesting. And I think that we don't have a lot of concurrence over whether those layers are sedimentary, whether we're looking at some sheet flows, what other things they could possibly be. So if Patty or Bob would like to chime in some more, that would be fantastic.
Okay, so this is a different holothurian to the two, which we've seen already.
Let's do a tight zoom real quick.
Zooming in. Holding.
Yeah, drifting away from it.
I'm going to go in a little tighter.
Okay.
So maybe this is a type of synallactid holothurian, similar to let's try this one on my own quietly. Galatheothuria.
Cool.
We have some pictures of a similar looking specimen from the deep waters of the Hawaiian Islands, but the one in the Hawaiian Islands is just a much more vivid purple. But it's got the same kind of velum that extends down onto the seafloor. Is that the right word? Yes, I think so. And then the little protrusions all over the body. Chris, do you not think it looks like the one in the OER guide?
All right, I think when you're done imaging, I think we're ready to move on.
Okay, zooming
Yep,
up.
whenever, pilots. Thank you very much.
That was very cool.
Full wide.
And again, more of this layered rock. The sediment is, it's definitely a moderately covered sediment area.
Let's do a zoom on this rock here.
Zooming in. Holding here.
It's an interesting pattern.
This is Bruce, and unfortunately, the ship is really breaking up now.
So, are you guys still having a hard time hearing us on the ship?
Pilot, ship moves will be completing here shortly. Do we want to try a chain on this one, or
Yes, we are.
slow down a bit?
Okay, I'll let our video and audio people know.
Sorry, what was the issue, watch lead?
Oh, they're having a hard time hearing us.
Yeah, coming out.
Stand by. Okay, I'm going to zoom out, Josh.
Yeah.
Okay, it looks like we're at
troubleshoot an audio
270
issue
now,
here.
and it's still ahead of us, so should I go ahead and change it to 270? Copy that.
Roger.
Nav, bridge move complete.
Thank you, Bridge. We'd actually like to put in another move of 30 meters at 270 degrees at 0.2 knots.
30 meters, bearing 270, 0.2 knots.
Good copy.
Your partial zoom here.
Can you look at that white thing straight lasers now?
So there's also some trash up above it.
Is that trash?
No, so this is a stalked crinoid with some commensals living on the stem. Or stalk, rather. I can't quite make out what the commensals are. Maybe amphipods or barnacles.
Zooming in.
Yep, good.
It's full zoom.
Yeah, so the first one looks like an amphipod. Nearer to the... They both look like amphipods. They both are amphipods.
Okay. It's a hard one. They're so far away. I'm going to zoom out.
Great pilots, thank you. I think just above it there was maybe a
Full wide.
tuna can or a spam can.
Oh, I thought you were going to say
Or a
tuna pit.
No, much less exciting than a tuna cat.
Pilots, we have a request for another rock sample.
Roger.
That will be all of the rock samples. To keep that in mind.
I'm aware.
No, not you. People on shore.
So we're interested in potentially getting one of these little kind of sheety layered flows.
I'll go ahead and call out Alton Bridge.
If we can, if we could just sort of grip a piece
Bridge,
and
can we
rip
go
it
ahead
off.
and stop right here?
If this is not the right place, though, we can keep going.
Yeah, what are you interested in?
Sort of one of the, see those
Nav,
little
bridge,
layers?
go ahead.
Can we go ahead and stop
Just
the ship
kind
right
of
here?
reaching
Stopping
and
ship.
grabbing one and taking a piece of it off.
Thank you.
Well, we can do that, but we would have to use the shilling, the slower arm, if we wanted to try to break a piece off. Yeah, we typically will not use the craft to do that. It's something we can do, though.
Only if we can find a piece that we think, will kind of break off easily.
Okay. So I'll keep an eye out.
Yeah, I don't think
see
this is
anything.
it. No, not right now.
Not right now. Quick
But-
zoom here, video.
Yep, zoom in. Holding.
I would say not even that.
So this looks like a polychaete.
Maybe a
I think I can see some parapodia
Coming around the other side.
with chaetae.
35 meters the most.
Perhaps a polynoid. If we could zoom a little more, I can see if it
Got a
has
little more zoom
scales.
when you're ready, Josh.
Come on in.
Zoom
I think it's trying to escape you.
Holding.
No, not. No, I think it's a. Nope, that is not a polychaete. No, yes, it is.
Try to
No,
get
that is a
closer to you.
polychaete. And yes, I think it is a polynoid. Though the scales are a bit hard to make out.
Got a little more zoom, I think. Not
I'm going
much.
to come in on him.
Actually, I'm full zoom.
Yeah.
There have been other polynoids noted in the Marianas Trench before, even from deeper depths than this. Yep, now that this view, it's clear. Definitely a polychaete.
So, pilots, do we think we see anything here for rock sample, or should we just keep moving?
I'm not seeing anything that looks like it'll easily break off.
Okay, then let's just keep moving and we'll see what we can find upslope.
Yeah, copy that.
And one of the interesting things that we're seeing right now is sort of this mesh pattern on some of the rocks. Does anybody want to weigh in on what might have formed that?
Okay. Bridge nav.
Go ahead.
We go ahead and put a 30-meter ship move at bearing 270 degrees at 0.2 knots.
Ship move, range 30 meters, bearing 270, speed
Close to zoom on
0.2.
this watch lead, or are you
Good
okay
copy.
with that?
No, I think we're okay. Thank you.
You're full wide.